The People Playbook is for professional business owners and leaders who understand business rises and falls on people. You will hear practical, real-world conversations on clear leadership, smart hiring, and building strong teams. All formulas for retention. Get ready to hear your professional peers and industry experts as they discuss lessons learned and best practices. Get that journal out. You'll be taking lots of notes.
This is Coach Cora, and welcome to the People Playbook. Every business has a strategy, but not every business has a people strategy, and that's where things often fall apart. This show is where business strategy meets people strategy, because when you develop your people, you grow your business. Listen to learn from my industry professionals and your business peers. What have they learned? What has worked? And what are some best practices? For more than 25 years, I have worked with organizations of every size and across the spectrum of industries, including many Texas treasures. Both fast-growing small businesses helping leaders connect the dots between their goals and their teams, and stabilized businesses seeking to keep their talent to support future growth. And every time, when the people side comes together, everything else starts to fall in place. Whether you're building your first team, re-engaging a seasoned one, or rethinking how you lead, you're in the right spot, because the People Playbook will bring you the expertise and insight you crave. For those that know, businesses rise and fall on your people. We are here to help with the people side of business. And today we have a guest with us that is incredibly passionate about supporting businesses and helping them in attracting the best talent and taking care of their employees. You also will find her passion and energy just addictive. Welcome, Blanca.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me, Cora.
Oh, I'm so excited you're here. You have been with Engage PEO since the beginning and now are the VP of Sales.
Yes, I'm the VP of Sales for the Texas market.
And tell me, how many employees do you cover across this great nation?
So currently right now, we're a little bit north of 100,000 employees that we cover all across the U.S.
I know that's something you're really proud of.
I am. When I started at Engage, we were a very small company. And to see my company grow, triple in size, actually, we just came back from our national conference, and our fearless leader kind of runs through all the numbers, and we're almost a little shy of 600 internal employees, and then north of 100,000 employees covered. So that's impressive to see a company, start small and grow to where we're at today.
Absolutely.
We are in hyper growth. Yeah. So it's pretty exciting to be part of this. It's exciting and it's also challenging, growing so fast for a company is also very challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a wild ride.
It's fun. It's like a roller coaster every day. We don't know what's going to happen.
And you talk about growth, and you talk about this company is just growing exponentially. Can you help our listeners? There's business owners, business leaders out there. They may be saying, what is a PEO? Can you explain a little bit? I know you get that question a lot.
Yes, I get it a lot. So PEO stands for Professional Employer Organization. That's what the acronym stands for. But I always like to explain it conceptually, and I like to use some different analogies to describe it because I'm a visual learner. I feel like a lot of times people are visual learners. So in concept, a PEO is a risk pool. So I always tell people to think about a very large swimming pool, maybe like an Olympic-sized swimming pool versus a tiny little kiddie pool. And think about throwing a rock into a small pool versus a large pool and the ripple effect that causes. So that's a good way to visualize what a PEO is going. A large PEO company is a large risk pool that is going to shelter you and protect you from the ripple effect of a potential liability or a potential large claim or loss. Whereas if you're in a smaller pool, that ripple effect can impact a lot more things, cost, even possibly getting dropped from coverage.
Right.
So
that's right.
That's a good way to put it. And for us Texas people, I always like to say, think about going to HEB to go shop versus Costco. We're going to be the wholesale, the Costco for business owners, the one-stop shop for business owners versus anybody retail off the street can go into HEB, right? So that's another analogy I like to to describe. And in essence, that's what a PEO is. Obviously, the concept has grown. It started with workers' comp insurance. It then grew to health insurance. But now the concept has actually grown to HR, to technology for businesses, to onboarding HRIS technology. And really, companies would not be able to afford these products and technology if they were standalone.
And one of the things I applaud with you, because we've known each other.
Yes.
And we have some businesses in common
We
that
do.
we work with.
Yes.
And as much as you're very passionate about selling the idea of Engage PEO.
Yes, I am.
But you're also an educator.
I
And that
am.
just kind of came out. You just really want to educate.
That's what
you
I
go
do
to businesses and you help educate as well.
That is one of my passions, is to educate employees, because one of the things that I see companies commonly do wrong is they're not educating their employees on their benefits.
That's right.
They offer benefits, but it's more like, let's just check the box kind of thing.
That's
Like, okay, check, we offer benefits, great. But you know, the benefits package itself, if the employee does not understand it and doesn't understand how to utilize it, it doesn't really do you any good to just check a box at that point, especially with the workforce now.
And you and I have had this conversation multiple times, and you and I both see it. Also, if companies invest well in benefits, they don't communicate them out. Some companies are still very focused on, this is what I'm going to pay you, and they aren't good at communicating that total benefit package. And I know you see that.
Correct. So now more than ever, the total compensation package has developed. So employees are no longer just interested in salary. They're interested in, what are my benefits? What is the work-life balance? What kind of lifestyle am I going to have?
Absolutely.
How is this going to impact my family? So now the workforce is getting more educated, and the economy is getting tighter, right? So employees want to know, how much is going to be taken out of my check? How much am I going to pay? And what's my out of pocket?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Employees are shopping businesses.
Yes.
Yeah. And that leads us to, it's really important, if employees, the best talent out there, is shopping employers, where do I want to work? One of the things that I think you do really, really well is when you work with businesses and we talk about different employees at different levels in their careers.
Yes.
Want different packages.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And that really attaches to your talent strategy.
It does. So benefits is my specialty. I've been doing it for 15 years now. And the reason I think why I stand apart is because I come in with strategies and I look at their overall demographic of their company.
Yeah.
And I see where the employees are landing and what age groups, and then I develop strategies for that. So your younger, more entry-level workforce employee, maybe out of college, first, second year, they're going to be looking for more flexibility, affordability, and something simple. They just want something easy. It's not going to cost them a lot of money, and they don't have to really worry too much about it.
And sometimes that entry-level employee is less focused on the medical benefits. Maybe they don't have a family. They're probably very healthy.
They have pets.
They have pets, right?
They want pet insurance. Yes.
Yeah.
And we offer that.
Yeah. And flexibility of I don't want to pay a lot of money. Where's my flexibility?
Absolutely.
In what I'm going to pay for that?
Absolutely. And then you have your demographic of maybe your middle age or middle of the road, more family-centric employees. And then you have the employee, which I call the experienced workforce that is maybe looking to retire, where they're going to be more conscious about retirement planning, Medicare transition, and helping getting on Medicare, because we already know that in itself is so complicated to understand. So guiding them through that process. But really, the bulk of the clients that I work with have kind of middle-aged, right? That's going to be family-based. And they're going to really want to talk about strong health care, to talk about predictable costs, to talk about how this is going to impact their family and what the out-of-pocket is.
Yeah, and that middle, and even as people are heading towards the end of their career, that stability of cost becomes very important. And the other thing I think it's really important for business owners to understand in all of this is, if I want to offer my more sunset workers that are 5-10 years away from retirement, guess what they're focused on? My 401k, and are you matching, and can I match? And I have in my organization people that are coming in as entry-level employees. This is their first or second job, and they may not be as interested in the retirement. And how can a company offer both?
Yes. So one of the strategies that I use is I create different classes of employees, and I commonly do this amongst pretty much all my clients. I determine kind of an hourly or entry level class where we design the benefits package for those employees. Then we do like a middle management or supervisory level, and then we'll have your executive leadership level or more of your tenured employees. And so each class has a different type of benefit, different type of contribution. It also creates incentives for the employee to grow within the organization, to stay with the company, to get into the other classes so they can get better benefits once they start advancing with the company. So that's a retention strategy. And also for those that are in more of the retirement class, we have vesting strategies that we create that will allow the employee to be fully vested after 3 years or 5 years. So those are some of the strategies I use.
And I love that. I think really having that intentional strategy and targeting who you want to bring in. This is Coach Cora with the People Playbook on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And we are discussing ways to attract and serve the people of your organization through strategic benefit plans. And we have Blanca with Engage PEO sharing her expertise. And Blanca, I really want to go into a little bit more about, we mentioned the importance of communicating out that total compensation packages. And I think there's different ways to do that in different times and places. What do you suggest for the HRs and the owners of these businesses if they're looking for that best of the best? How do they share that out with potential hires, the talent they're wanting to hire?
So it starts with their business strategy, because it's really a mindset shift, right? So you're shifting how you're thinking about benefits, and you're also shifting as how often you evaluate and look into benefits. Instead of an annual or sometimes not even an annual review, you really want to make it a year-round strategy. So you want to incorporate that into your business planning, your business strategy, whatever you're doing in your company, your talent strategy. And then you want to make sure you have somebody on your team or a partner like Engage that will be able to help communicate those benefits to the employees, help answer questions. I mean, we have a whole benefit team resource center that's available to employees, a health advocate that's available. So it's the resources and how you communicate that. So it's really like leadership is guiding them versus here's a piece of paper. Go home and read it.
And some of the larger companies do this very, very well. They have it all added. If we pay you this in our compensation, here's really the value that you're getting, and here's some flexibility. And I think smaller businesses, family-owned businesses, they kind of struggle with that. And I know you've really helped some companies say, you're not just paying that. Don't communicate that. Look at what you're providing.
So we do have a total comp report for our clients available per employee, per job. But also I have clients that go out for bid on projects. So they want to know exactly to the penny how much an employee costs them, because they have to add that to their bid, right? So how much is this employee going to cost me? And now I know how to bid out my project better.
Well said. That's where talent strategy really meets business strategy.
Yes, absolutely.
I know what I'm going to do and what this total cost is. I've got those numbers, and I'm going to have the numbers for that employee, because if I own a construction business, my frontline craft person that's brand new to the industry, might have a different cost, not just in pay, but in benefits, than my long-term project manager or engineer.
Correct. And that's why it's so important to partner with a true expert that knows what they're doing, because I may not have all the answers. I know a lot in the realm of benefits, but there may be other questions that you have that you need help with. And at Engage, we have a whole team of experts that's tenured, that knows employment litigation, that knows HR, that knows payroll, that knows compliance, that knows how to guide you in the right way. So if something does come up in your business, you know that you can pick up the phone and call Engage.
Yeah. And I think that's really important, that Engage or anybody else, right? Do I have a partner?
Exactly.
And when I'm doing business, that's going to help me with labor law, HR law, and hiring, firing. What can I or can I not do? What can I and can I not offer? And how do I target and be intentional with what I'm offering? Having that expertise and that partnership is so important.
Right, because what I commonly see is I see business owners being reactive they will either source out a PEO or reach out to us after they've been hit with a penalty. They've had an audit. Department of Labor came in. They had a large claim. They have a huge renewal increase. And then they're like, oh my gosh, who do I call? I need help. So they're very reactive. So, don't fall victim to that. Try to be proactive and think of new ways and progressive ways to look at your business. I think that's another thing about Texas business owners, which I love my Texas business owners. But, we're very traditional. We're very conservative. But it's time for us to try to look at new ways to do business.
Yes, absolutely.
And new trends, right?
Absolutely. This is Coach Cora with Blanca Abbud of Engage PEO on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, discussing ways to attract and serve the people of your organization through strategic benefit plans. Engage PEO is a national professional employer organization that handles HR, payroll, benefits, risk, and compliance so businesses can focus on what they do best. What sets Engage apart is its HR consulting model. Every client works directly with licensed employment attorneys who understand employment law and how it plays out in the real workplace. That means practical guidance, faster answers, and fewer compliance surprises. Engage also works closely with insurance brokers and other referral partners, protecting client relationships while delivering high-touch HR support built for growing organizations. You can learn more at engagepeo.com or reach out directly to Blanca. Just search in Google or LinkedIn for the PEO lady. Blanca, I appreciate you coming and sharing some of these insights. The other thing that I would love for our businesses to learn about, and we can talk about a little bit, is some specific ways businesses can generate some low-cost enhancements to add to their total compensation. Because sometimes an employee deciding that high-performing employee that you really want, it's the little things that says, you know what, this is a company.
Absolutely. So I wanted to give some advice and just think that not everything that you add to your benefits package is going to be so expensive. There's little tips of some low-cost ways to enhance your benefit package. And I will say one of them is just doing a benefit survey to your employees.
Love that.
And asking them, what is it that you are interested in or what is it that you want? That's either a no-cost or very easy way to get to know what your employees are looking for. I've done many of those surveys and read the results, and some of the highest ranked things on those surveys are fitness packages. They want a membership to a gym or a membership discount. Most health insurance carriers offer those fitness club memberships at no cost. It's already included. So that's a perk that you can really promote, or a wellness program, or start a wellness challenge in your company to make it exciting to participate in their health, right?
Yeah.
Because healthy employees are normally more productive, engaged employees. So again, it's low cost, and that's also going to turn around and help your business. Another way is maybe holding either quarterly benefit educational sessions or posting on your bulletins the resources available, right? Because sometimes employees forget that you're going to open enrollment, you get this great education, and then they forget the next day or whatever. So having that information, like where the time clock is or different areas that are common areas, and that way they're like, oh, I forgot. I do have a fitness program, or I do have health advocate or somebody I can call and answer my questions or my spouse's questions. That's a big thing. Also, a lot of carriers are putting free telehealth. That's another big perk.
That's a big one. People love that.
Telehealth is on the rise. I think after COVID, after all that happened, a lot more people, especially your younger demographic, are going to tend to want to call your teledoc and get services that way, or mental health. Which mental health, by the way, I've had probably in the past 2 years, I've had the highest inquiries for what is your mental health package? What do you offer for mental health? Where we've actually just incorporated just this year, 2026, unlimited mental health through telehealth as a standalone option, which we've never done.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And it's $10 a month. I mean,
wow.
Yes.
And
so
it is
really good.
One of the things you said, and I think I want to pull that out a little bit, is surveying the people. I have found more times, I owned a business in downtown San Antonio for several years. And when I asked my employees, like, what's most important to you? And I couldn't really afford to give more pay necessarily. They said, we want bus passes.
Exactly.
Done.
And you wouldn't have known that.
And I
if
didn't
you
even
hadn't
know
asked.
that. And I know I've worked in medical industry with several clients, and it's the same thing. Like, oh, we're going to give them swag, or we're going to reward them this way. Like, well, let's go ask them what would be a meaningful reward. And they'll say, I want a gas card.
Yeah.
I need gas. And so
I need
really,
something I could use today.
right.
Yes.
And so recognizing who are my employees, what is important to them, and what is the benefit that they would feel like my employer is making my life easier. My employer understands what I'm challenged with. And I've also been in companies where I just want to bring my dog to work.
Yes, work-life balance.
And that will keep people, like, I'm not going anywhere. They let me bring my dog to work.
And you see that a lot in Austin. I think when I go visit my clients in Austin, almost every office I work in has a dog. And right in the front, too. I'm like, okay. So it's bring your dog to work. I'm seeing it more and more.
Well, you know, you work with TLC, Total Lawn Care.
I do. Yes.
I only go on site because I want to see the dog.
Is that why? Okay. You build a relationship with the dogs as well.
Yes. And it's some of those little things that really attract people. You've seen more and more where we're getting into flexi time, and hey, and an employer being able to put that in their package and just say, hey, we have real flexible, we manage by outcomes. And if you need to come in, you have to stay, wait for the refrigerator to be delivered.
Hybrid schedules are on the rise.
Absolutely.
Some companies are doing 3 days in office, 2 days at work from home. Another big trend that's happening, not in all your blue collar companies, not really, but I am seeing a lot of my tech companies do what's called unlimited PTO.
Absolutely. Very popular.
And that, like, within just this year, I've already had 3 clients asking, can you write an unlimited PTO policy?
Yeah.
We're hearing that this is the way to go.
Yeah. Well, and you know, that's because so many tech companies, they may be based here in the States, but they also have teams in other countries.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And when you go across the pond, they have their 10, 12 vacation weeks of vacation. And so it gets to be very complicated when this stateside has 10 days and they have 6 weeks. How do you navigate that? So a lot of companies said, you know what, we're just going to do unlimited, but you have to get your work done.
Right. And I mean, I want to just talk to, the broad audience, because some can be a smaller business or a medium-sized business that doesn't offer PTO at all. So even just offering PTO.
That's a good point. I love
could be a big win for your employees.
Absolutely.
So little things like that that can really incentivize the employees, that can really hit home with them, that will impact their lifestyle, their work-life balance. Those are the things that employees are interested in. I would say commonly I see employers just set it and forget it. Yeah. They haven't updated their handbook in 10 years. They haven't updated their benefit strategy in 10 years. Why? Because that's how they set it up, and it's been working just fine, and nobody has said anything.
And I think that's something that's really important to you. If you would wanted businesses to know anything, it would be review your benefits.
Yes, please evaluate at the minimum every year. You should be evaluating your benefit strategy. And prior to evaluating, if you can conduct a short benefit survey so that you know what to strategize about, or what's working and what's not working, that would be key as well. I think that in itself will make a world of difference on an organization.
Thank you, Blanca. You are listening to the People Playbook, and this is Coach Cora on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We're wrapping up our discussion on intentional and strategic ways to attract and serve the people of your organization through total compensation plans. I want to thank Blanca, who is with Engage PEO, for sharing with our business leaders ways to align their benefits package to their business and talent strategy. And also, thank you again to our sponsor of today's show, Engage PEO. Engage PEO is a national professional employer organization that handles HR, payroll, benefits, risk, and compliance so businesses can focus on what they do best. What sets Engage apart is HR consulting model. Every client works directly with licensed employment attorneys who understand employment law and how it plays out in real workplace. That means practical guidance, faster answers, and fewer compliance surprises. Engage also works closely with insurance brokers and other referral partners, protecting client relationships while delivering that high-touch HR support built for your growing organization. Google the PEO lady and reach out directly to Blanca. Remember, your business rises and falls on people. And when you build clear relationships, make smart hiring choices, and invest in strong teams, everything else gets easier. And if you'd like help developing your people strategy that truly supports your business strategy or guidance on any of your people challenges, you can find me at coachcora.com or on LinkedIn, search for Coach Cora. I look forward to working together to write the next chapter in your People Playbook, and join us next Saturday when we will add to your People Playbook.
Thank you for listening to the People Playbook. For more information, Coach Cora can be found on LinkedIn and at coachcora.com. Let's meet here next Saturday, 2 p.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.